Hey everyone, it's Richard Metalfan here, bringing you guys an old school album review for here in 2018. And today is this album's 40th anniversary. And I don't really go into albums that really that old. And it's hard to believe this came out 40 years ago today. And as you can see below the title, today we're going to be looking into Van Halen. And more in particular, their first album, which we're talking about. The debut album released on February 10th, 1978 through Warner Brothers Music Records. Now, Van Halen definitely doesn't need an introduction. They're a rock band formed out of California from the mid-70s. They're formed by, of course, the Van Halen brothers, being Eddie Van Halen on guitar and Alex Van Halen on drums. And then around the time, they were born in the Netherlands, but then they moved to the U.S. and then when they were young, and then they started doing stuff, and then of course they formed a band, and after their last name, Van Halen. And of course, they got in my opinion, their best vocalist and their first original vocalist, David Lee Roth. In my opinion, I think he's pretty much the best Van Halen vocalist. Period. I mean, and some people don't know. I only like the albums with David Lee Roth. I mean, he just has that flair to it, which I like. And of course, they also have the bassist, Michael Anthony. At around that time, 1976, they started recording demos for their first album, and of course they did one demo, I believe, with the Gene Simmons from Kiss. And it was after that they were offered like several concerts, and of course they got signed to Warner Brothers Music, and then they started recording like in late '78, and of course this came out in 1977, I should believe. Sorry, it was when this recorded, and this came out in 1978. And what can I say? This, in my opinion, is the best Van Halen album. A great way to start off their career. The production is really good, produced by Ted Templeman. Like, the production is where it needs to be. David Lee Roth's vocals, I mean, what can I say? Like, the dude has some great range. He's one of the best vocalists I've heard. I think he's really great, really talented at what he does. Eddie Van Halen's guitar playing. What can I say about this guy? The guy has pretty much sort of like started like new stuff like tapping and shred. The guy can shred my face off. Wow. The bass playing from Michael Anthony is pretty audible. You could definitely hear it well in some of the songs. And of course the drumming from Alex Van Halen. And pretty much, in my opinion, a very underrated drummer. I think it does a really great job on this album. But without further ado, let's dive into this album track by track. Now, the album opens up with Running with the Devil, probably the most recognizable and loved Van Halen song. I mean, it kind of starts off, when I first heard it started off a little bit weird, but then it has a simple bass line which goes doom, doom, doom. I mean, the track is famous for its blaring guitar and a very extremely catchy chorus. The chorus seems to be stacked, which would give an excuse why it sounds so good together and smooth. Like, the solo is in this number is basically Eddie attacking like the fretboard, if you want it sort of like an approach that way. And then we go into Eruption. This song is pretty much easy to describe, but a really intense and technical guitar solo. Most say is the greatest solo ever. I think differently, but I think it's beyond amazing. And then it leads into You Really Got Me, which is a cover done by the Kinks, and it's a good one. It is kind of very similar. I mean, I only heard a little bit of the original, but of course Van Halen's cover just has a lot more intense and technical playing. The chorus is very smooth, just like in the original version, and the solo just comes out of nowhere, and the backing vocals are so smooth like that they just sound like they come out of a synthesizer, which is kind of very odd. Ain't Talking About Love, definitely probably one of my favorite Van Halen songs, probably because of how the guitar playing and the bass playing, they just flow very nicely and smooth. The song pretty much has like a greatest intro ever, in my opinion. Of course, the chorus is a strong part of the song, arguably. I'm the One, probably the fastest song on this album, with the exception of Eruption, like I mentioned. Then, like, the only little like nitpick about this song is that the rhythm, love with the love in the chorus. I mean, I really like the song. They sort of matched the instrument oddly well. But near the end of the song, all the members do some sort of scat, which is very interesting. Jamie's crying. The opening guitar playing is some kind of reminds me of something a little bit from a Soundgarden song, which is great because I actually do like some Soundgarden. Of course, the strong part of this song is the chorus, with most of the songs by this band, and this song has a lot more, I guess, emotion than the others, which shows something like bands would occasionally lack. Atomic Punk. The guitar playing in this song is different from most of other Van Halen songs. It seems very compressed. I mean, the guitar solo is absolutely insane, just like all the others on here. The song doesn't stand out from the bunch, but it's still pretty good. Feel Your Love Tonight. The only part of this song that really stands out for me is the few seconds before each chorus. I do really like the second chorus, how each instrument cuts out except the guitar. Little Dreamer. The song is more of a bluesy original. I mean, the backing vocals are done very nicely, and the drumming and the bass playing just flow very nicely. Ice Cream Man, an acoustic kind of blues cover. I mean, the song was originally written by a guy named John Brim. The vocals are what stand out for me in this song. I mean, this is a Van Halen song, though it's not like an original, which for the longest time I never knew this was a cover, but this is done pretty good. I mean, then it sort of like breaks out like the rest of the band come in, and it's just like David Lee Roth singing, playing guitar, and the backing vocals are done really nicely well, probably the stacked out of the rest of them. And then the album closes with On Fire. The song starts off very powerfully, and it has some different guitar playing than the usual. This song is a lot heavier than a normal Van Halen song. I mean, I really like the bass playing in the chorus. It sounds like something from like a Super Mario game. One of the highlights to the song is the high-pitched scream like David does like near the middle of the song. And I think it's a pretty good way to end this album. Now, overall, the Van Halen's self-titled album is a great way to start off their career. I mean, I definitely would give this a solid 10 out of 10. It's that good. One of the best debut albums I've heard. Yeah, I'm also trying to get this on vinyl soon, so yeah, hopefully I can own this. I mean, this is still, in my opinion, the best work they've done to date, and a great way to start off their career. So yeah, that's my review of the first Van Halen album, guys. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about it, and I really would love it if these guys were to do a 40th anniversary tour and play this album start to finish. I would be there in a heartbeat. But yeah, that's my review of the first Van Halen, guys. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you all in the next video, and keep it metal.